Hello, good morning. Welcome to our break session of Vechain. It's very glad to be in San Francisco. Honestly, I've been staying here for 1 month. I kind of feel I'm in the wrong time. I'm supposed to be in China, right? Because last weekend, China made a big announcement about a blockchain. And there are very funny stories about that. They're saying in that weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the big enterprise, all of the listed companies to run the speed at a startup. Like we received a message at like 11 p.m. on the Saturday or Sunday saying, oh, I need your proposal because I need to make some announcement on the next Monday. So it's very funny. So what just happened, like I just mentioned, China and the US has all big news about the blockchain right now. President Xi Jinping urges accelerated blockchain development and adoption to the whole country, while Zuckerberg, representing the Libra, is suffering kind of like investigation or hearing from senators. Actually, I think both of them are in a positive. For sure, China is very positive right now. Kind of bring out the, let's say, the new wave, how to, and passion from the people, like, oh, the bull market is coming, we want to go more. But also, what happened in Libra is also give us some kind of, let's say, like sign, we need to keep calm. We don't want to go for another hype, but really think really carefully what we're missing. And the regulation is also part of something like hurdle to stop blockchain go to the mainstream, to the main adoptions, right? So there's some takeaway, at least here. Firstly, everybody knows right now, blockchain now is in a national level strategy, and the big countries start to consider this as not only the small countries anymore. We heard about too much news about Malta, the small countries in Europe, but now China and US even are going a different paths, but actually aim for the same goal, to be the next leader in the position and wanted to seize the opportunity of the blockchain as a strategic technology for the nation. And secondly, everybody is talking about the future of the blockchain is blockchain needs to prove the business value. If we just talk about trading or cryptocurrency trading without any valuation, then no future. So the blockchain needs to prove its business value to go for the next stage. And that's actually the third opinion is coming from myself. We always wanted to drive business application first and financial application later. I can show you a story. When I get started, like in 2015, I decided to quit my job in Louis Vuitton and go for all into the blockchain space. So I spent quite a few months traveling around globally, just try to pick up, what's happening and what people are thinking, what people try to do in the blockchain space. And I find a very interesting thing at that time in 2015, 99% of startups in blockchain are focused on financial applications. So I was thinking like, it doesn't seem right. For me, you gotta have like a business application first, and finance is actually supporting the different business. So if you don't have business activity on the blockchain first, why you need a finance application by blockchain? It's kind of like, for sure, it's creating the hype, creating the bubble, because they don't have the real business to support by this kind of technology. So we have been focused on this part, like really using the business application, or focus on business application building first, and later on, then we talk about financial applications. And for sure, as a summary, blockchain is on the way to the mass adoption, not because China says so. For sure, when China says so, we're talking about 1.3, 1.4 billion population in that country. And the mass adoption will be, accelerated by this announcement for sure. But also, I'm sure more countries will catch up, and the real target for the blockchain should be mass adoptions. We have been talking for years. And last but not least, very importantly, who can drive the mass adoption? Who can drive the technology to the real application, to the real business, and really change the world, change people's life? We can refer back to the internet. When internet was born, internet technology was born from laboratory, whatever university, or even the military, but only the enterprises, only the professional team are able to drive the technology to the people's life. So blockchain goes through like this for sure, and we believe that. And we have been saying, we stay in this blockchain space for too long time, I would say. The first time I get to know about Bitcoin was 2013, and when I started Vechain was 2015. We saw too much chaotic situation, honestly. Lots of bad guys playing the bad stuff, scams run away, all of the bad things. So we need the professional team, we need the enterprise to drive this. Meaning also, we need a regulation. We need that kind of rules to allow the good guys to play the good face, and bad guys got kicked out, get penalty, right? So that's some takeaway from the last weekends. And we have been thinking this for years, and honestly, this is a map to show how blockchain drives and how blockchain goes through the different stages. And we are right in a very key moment right now. Yesterday, or today, it's today, is the anniversary of white paper, 11 years anniversary of white paper of Bitcoin. And starting from 2008 until 2015, honestly, it was quite let's call it like a dark forest time. Very few people know about Bitcoin, only the technical guys that play around, but 2015 really made a difference. There are a couple of reasons. Firstly, in The Economist, the magazine, The Economist, published an article, it's called "The Blockchain is a Trust Machine." In October of 2015, it really creates, it really creates the big wave to the mainstream. The mainstream people are start to really look into the blockchain technology. And also 2015, Ethereum launched, considered as a 2.0 of blockchain, other than just 1.0 like Bitcoin, that kind of a purely ledger system, because Ethereum conduct, virtual machines, smart contract, allow the blockchain technology to carry on more complicated or more sophisticated business activities, right? Now, in 2018, last year and 2019, these 2 years are very critical, because after certain years of development of the technology, the infrastructure, or services like Explorer, mining pool, wallets, that kind of basic offerings, we really need to move on to the next stage, which is mass adoption. How do you get the normal user, non-technical people, to use blockchain? Like, you cannot count on, for example, my mom couldn't remember private keys, right? She couldn't back up several paper or whatever for her private keys. How could she become a blockchain user? With in the current stage, in the current situation, the UI, UX, whatever, for the blockchain applications, it's very hard. So we need to conquer that, so we are able to move on to the next stage for the mass adoptions. I'm going to show something to you. What is the real mass adoptions? Exactly describe the similar level age of of my mom, that kind of people are using blockchain in the real life, and you don't have to understand how blockchain works. Eventually, blockchain is an invisible technology. It's like you're using email every day, but you don't care how SMTP works, how TCP/IP works, which is fundamental to an email application. So blockchain is going to be the same. And going further, let's say we predicted 2022 and even beyond, there will be more application, more business model even, like new business model coming from using the technology and going further. So what is a fundamental, what is like basic mindset about that? Actually, it's very simple. We still can refer to the internet. What internet company do? Actually, internet company, all of the internet companies, they just try to, first step is bring more people to the internet, start to use the internet. And then there are much more data on the internet. They just maximize the value of the data on the internet, right? Whatever Facebook, Amazon, Alibaba, Tencent, they're doing exactly the same thing. Well, in the different forms, but actually fundamentally it's the same. So what we try to do, I want to share the secret with every one of you, is we try to maximize the value of data on the blockchain. It's very simple. It could be served for insurance company, it could be served for auditing company, or it could be served for any kind of supplier management enterprise. They're using the data on the blockchain. They're using the unique feature of data on the blockchain, which is public, transparent, immutable to change, to create the new value, whatever saving the cost to manage suppliers or improve the efficiency to extend the market to more auditees, to more, grow from a selective market to a more broader market, whatever. So that's fundamentally, we're doing just the one thing, very simple thing, is try to find the value and maximize value of data on the blockchain, right? But simple to say, it's hard to achieve for sure. That's for most of the things in the world. So before we go down, like, how are we going to do that? I wanted to share one thought recently we developed. During countless flights, I've been doing that kind of travel all the time across different continents. I've been thinking, what is the roadmap or what is the path for blockchain to go through? So I summarize here, different steps. The first stage, like until 2018, we call technical consensus. So the major force of the blockchain space or industry are majorly driven by technical guys. For example, like the mystery Satoshi Nakamoto, or the Vitalik, or a bunch of technical leaders, and also the main players in the market are technical developers. And then they build up some kind of consensus, either using limited or selective languages, like Golang, C, Python, that kind of languages, or similar technical architecture to build up the current blockchain networks to create the different applications. So we call it's a technical consensus. But now we're kind of hit in the bottleneck of the entire blockchain development because we're looking for business applications. We're looking for the value, how to bring the technology to the business. Why people would pay for using the technology to generate the new value. So then we're talking about a business consensus. The business consensus means why the different people, why the different business entities or legal entities willing to join together and to do something together and achieve the same goal with proper economic motivations, right? Companies, enterprises are looking for profits, which is quite, this is a fun, even maybe we can look at the great good, the saving the planet, that kind of thing, but down to earth, you gotta feed your employees, you gotta pay your rents. So eventually, you need to find a proper economic motivation, but could be better than the current company working together, that kind of collaboration. You can have a more public, transparent allocation of profits, that kind of way, thanks for blockchain technology. But we need to find a business consensus among the different entities, among the different players in the space, so that we are able to create the new disruptive and innovative application using the blockchain technology. But this is very, very hard, honestly, very, very hard. I have to say that. in the last 4 years, Vechain has been devote ourselves to this path, to this direction, and we do have experiences. I'm sure not every of them are funny experience or exciting experience. Some are really tough, but we have some progress, and that's why we want to share this experience with everyone, like how we achieve business consensus. And going further, when you have people with right motivation and the economic motivation, allocation, and you want to do a new collaboration, then you need a fair rules, right? You need to, among all of the players, you need a fair rules. How are we going to play together? How are we going to encourage the good guys to do the right thing, to play the good face, encourage them, but kick the bad guys? Only say the greed of human nature is something you cannot control, or inevitably there will be bad guys always. So we need that kind of a governance consensus. Like most of good people agree, we need to drive the technology to the next stage. We need to bring or build the great good for everyone, that kind of thing. So we need that kind of governance consensus. Not only for the government point of view or regulator point of view, but even among the different business entities, players, companies, enterprises, blockchain startups, we all wanted to build up that. Okay? So that's we have been thinking beyond the technology. That's, I think, is the most of, let's say, missing part for the entire blockchain space. So not only we need a blockchain technical guys, but we also need the business guys. We also need the expert how to run the project, how to build up a more sophisticated governance for the projects. And also, the other sharing is how we're going to do that. We need to think about the integration with other technologies, because the blockchain is not really like a Superman can do everything by your own. Usually, you got to integrate with IoT, with AI, with existing internet technologies. So blockchain is supposed to work on that. And also, most of the enterprise adoption, they don't really care about technology per se. They care about solutions. They care about what kind of solution can really improve my efficiency, address my issues, or create a new business value. They care about solutions other than just purely technology, right? So we need that kind of integration with others, and that means we need to align more team. Honestly, Vechain did something really, I would say, in a luxury way. At the early stage of Vechain, we acquired an IoT team, which, my partners even say, like, why you do that? We're a blockchain team. Why I need to acquire IoT team? Well, 6 months later, when we got the first case, everybody understand, well, when you go to the business application, when you go to the enterprise, you needed that kind of integration. However, at that time, the entire space, like no IoT team understand the blockchain, or blockchain team understand IoT. They even think about that's two competitive technologies in the market, which is not true. So we needed that kind of collaboration between the different technologies and make it together. So that's very, very important. And also that's a very, let's say, key sharing or key learning for Vechain to achieve today's progress. So as a summary, very exciting to say, until today, we have 31, or maybe 32, considering the yesterday case with Diageo in Singapore. It's 32 now. We have 32 enterprise use cases up and running on the Vechain public blockchain. I'm very proud to say, I think we're not even one of them, but like the most used public blockchain by enterprise solutions, because we did lots of things, because we think differently. Well, I'm going to have a dedicated session about why Vechain, so we can talk about that later, but I just want to show you what the application looks like. Maybe it looks like really lame or really stupid or simple, whatever. It's not really like high-end, classic, chic, cool technology with a fancy animation or something. Not like that. It's down to your earth. It's very close to your life. So I want to show you what we have done with Walmart in China. No more POC in the laboratory, please, but you can walk to the Walmart supermarkets and test it by yourself. So let's take a look. All right. Do you have an internet with that? Let me see. Oh. YouTube 的 link 吗？ Sorry, that's another place we're talking about the professional. We need to improve, right? Before the presentation, we need to rehearsal. We need to make sure it's running well. Don't worry, Yvette. I'm going to have a different talk with you. So let's see. All right. Yeah, let's see. All right. Well, I'm sorry for that, but could you take care of this? Actually, it's a TV program reporting in China. Walmart China built up this food traceability solution, and for the normal user, can walk in to the supermarkets. You can find a special zoom we call traceability zoom. All of the mushrooms, meat, seafood, vegetables. You can just use your smartphone, scan the code, you get all of the traceability information, and you feel safer. Honestly, food safety is one of the major concerns for China market, so everybody loves that. Even, like I said, the people with like my mom's age, 60, 65, they don't understand what blockchain is, but they use smartphone. And they can scan it and find out, oh, I know this mushroom is coming from that province and takes like 40 hours until I buy, and with different temperature, that kind of thing. They will honestly, maybe they don't understand what does it mean, but they kind of get the conclusion, this is I feel safe. So this is the blockchain technology, how to get to people's life, get to normal people's life. So that's what I call, that's mass adoption. It's no more like a fancy animation, lights and sparkles, that kind of commercial to represent the high tech. The real high tech is supposed to be invisible and serving people's daily life, and you don't need to feel it. It's invisible, right? Okay. All right. Maybe later after that you can Google, you go to the YouTube and see the video, but really it's not really professional. We should improve. So why Vechain? Firstly, it's about a mindset. Vechain has a different mindset as just a pure technical blockchain team. Let's say we aiming for the real user volume. No more just. If we look at the Bitcoin or Ethereum, we're talking about 500,000 users, 500,000 addresses, like that. There was a number to say, oh, Bitcoin may be used by 40 million people around the world, considering the users from exchange as well. But actually, if we look at the real mass adoption, the internet application platform, whatever, WeChat or Facebook, we're talking about 1 billion users. That's why when Libra started, it really created a big noise because we're talking about 2.3 or 2.7 billion users, maybe access, maybe using the technology. So even they're still under the big challenge and difficulties, I would say, but still, they have a very good foundation. They were good base. So what Vechain wanted to do, honestly, I really want to show the video about the Walmart case. But that's something really we wanted to go for. We are aiming for that. And also, in terms of the technical features, we really look at the enterprise point of view. We think from enterprise and create something, let's say, enterprise user friendly. We did something no one ever did before. Before we launch our mainnet, before we even go to the design, we talked to 30, 40 different executives of the different enterprise, top, Fortune 500 enterprise. Ask the same question over and over again. How do you want to build up your application on the blockchain? And what is the hurdle if you want to migrate your business to a public blockchain? What's your concern? What kind of the feature you are expecting? That kind of thing. And as a summary, not only about the governance model, economic model, consensus, but also technical integration. We talk about how to integrate with IoT AI, but also some key features and tools like fee delegation. Vechain was the first one to launch that. And when we started use for the real case for almost 1 year, and some other platform are following up, which is good. Multitasker transactions are able to send one transaction contains multiple clauses to the different recipients, which is very common in a normal business world. Whatever, during the collaboration of supply chain, or simply just say you want to pay salary to employees. When you have 200 employees, you want to use one transaction but pay to 200 people to save the unit cost about that, which can be done very easily on that. And also some like transaction dependency, controllable transaction configurations. Those are very close. Only say it's not really a big deal. Well, it is a big deal, but it's quite, let's say, normal thinking from business point of view. That's what we did. So technical features of Vechain really create friendly interfaces for the others. And also, going further, not only think about the technical guys, but also about the business people. We said we need more builders. We need not only the technical team, because right now we are in the business consensus stage, we need more business people. So we wanted to provide a tool, allow the non-technical people also can be the builder to build the business applications on the Vechain blockchain. That's the toolchain. It's a one-stop service to allow the different users, even the small business enterprise, they can go through the format, sharing our experiences, take advantage of our experiences to do the different case with, multiple different enterprises in the past 3-4 years, and go to blockchain very easily. Like Mr. Sabotage from Singapore, Fujiti from Japan, and bunch of, and also my story from DMVG. We're all coming from these parts. And they use this tool for enterprise blockchain adoption very easily. It's kind of like, in short, it's kind of like AWS for enterprise business applications. You don't need to build everything by yourself. You can just go that platform, go to the toolchain platform, and following the steps, 30 minutes, you have your business on the blockchain already. And you will be open the door and able to explore more business applications. And going further, for sure, we have more technical portfolios to keep polishing, keep upgrade the business applications, keep upgrade the opportunities with multiple different, let's say, technical portfolios. For sure, we're not going to stop there. We're going to go further to keep building the new tools, new services. So I'm telling the jokes to my team, like, we want to be the jeans maker for everybody in the world, because you can wear jeans to be stylish, to be fashion, to do the labor work, to run even. So we want to make jeans. We want to make a common standard tool with very simple design, and to help everybody to be the builder of the blockchain. And very key point is, honestly, forget about those portfolios, forget about these tools. It's kind of like showing the muscle, like we're really good about technology also. But in the end, we want to help everybody to use this, to use the toolchain as a very simple tool. Yesterday, I had a meeting with someone in San Francisco, when I order a coffee, they bring me so many options. I was like, oh, I don't care. Just bring me a coffee. Then ask what kind of beans, what kind of size, what kind of flavor. I say, I don't want. I just want a coffee. I just want to keep awake, right? So sometimes enterprise need a very standard and a common tool they can get started. Because every enterprise, they will have different customization requirements or needs, but they need to get something very easy and standard to get started, and then they can explore. So that's why, we bring this tool for that. And as a summary, we have not only the enterprise application, but also the startup as well to do the different application on the Vechain blockchain. I'm gonna go through that. So in summary, why Vechain? In summary, why so many big enterprises are building public blockchain applications, and we also have like more than 1,000 leads in a pipeline to line up to try to use. That's also one of the reasons we want to push toolchain, because it's a common tool. Everybody can do the self-service to bring the application. So in summary, we do have the proven case to show we have a capability, and also we not only about the technical team, but also we have a business development team, and those technical features really be friendly to the enterprise. And last but not least, we have a unique and different comprehensive governance model, economic model, and integration with other technologies. So honestly, that's a summary of Vechain, and I hope we'll have more builders come to Vechain blockchain to build more applications. So join us, be part of the journey. Yes?
Since you can't see the Walmart video, can you show us your shoe?
Sure. I can show the sure. Yvette, could you show the Walmart video here? So I can just show you application very easily. I'm wearing this sneaker. It's actually done by Mr. Sabotage, a customer designer from Singapore. There's a chipset in my sneakers. And I just use my smartphone to scan it, and I get all of the traceability information. So you can hear the beeps. And when you read about chips, you show the basic information. First they do the blockchain verification, and then they show I think my network is not running well here. Yeah, I only got like 2 bars on my SIM card. Oh, okay. And also you got pop-up of the basic information. Suppose a picture to show up, the network is really slow. If we go to the more information, you can see more pictures, digital video contents. It's kind of like create a new portal for those brands to talk to the customer. Like let your product be your sales. No more just sales guy in the store. So for example, you can go to the website if you really like it. You can have a traceability information to show like from Jakarta to Singapore, and also you have a digital contents. The designer himself, Mr. Sabotage, will tell you the story. Like you're holding one of the 11 pairs of sneakers. This is one of 11. I'm really proud of that. And also more information about the product itself. So yeah, let's see the Walmart case. I'm sorry it's in Chinese, but it's real. I mean, you go to the TV program. So mushroom, vegetables, meats, and seafood. You just use WeChat. You can use any kind of QR code scanner. It shows, the basic information, origins, traceability, and even certification from authorities. Like this product is safe to consume. And even some conditioning about the storage, about the transportation. Yeah, that's all of the traceability. And the different time steps for the critical steps. and different critical steps during the transportation. In the past, and right here, see the V? That's Vechain. So actually, the lady just explained in the Chinese. She said, "Oh, blockchain is very important." I'm sure she doesn't understand, but she said blockchain is very important because of blockchain. We can make sure it's real and it's like the data is really authentic. That's what she said. That's what normal people need to know, and that's the enterprise can bring the technology to the mass adoption. All right? Yeah, that's another one. We got a mini. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
So as I mentioned, we have a lot of important figures in the Vechain ecosystem. So I'm a friend of Vechain, and I run one of the largest crypto media and consulting firm based in China, Shanghai. And we have Sunny, you met him, and also we have Zach, we have John, and we have Xiaoning. So why don't we have some short introduction of each of you? Do you need a microphone? Or?
I guess I don't need to waste the time to introduce myself, right? So I just directly pass to Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm a co-founder and CEO of CyberX. We do market making, OTC trading, as well as advanced trading terminals.
Hey everyone, I'm John Dempsey, founding director of 8 Hours Foundation, and we're building a platform that facilitates human interaction and powers the true social element of games using Playtable.
Hi everyone, I'm Xiaoning from OceanX. So, OceanX is a AI-powered exchange, and we aim to bridge the traditional financial and the crypto asset. So we are, I think, we try to inside the Vechain ecosystem to help lots of the common users to come to the crypto world. Yeah.
So I have some more generic questions for each of them, and then followed by more specific questions for each. Yeah. So my first question is actually about all of you have been involved in this industry by different years and different time frame. So what do you see the changes in the past few years, and what are the growths of public blockchain and the innovation you see based on your own personal experiences?
Yeah. Well, Vechain started quite early in 2015. Even personally, I started to get involved with Bitcoin since 2013. Change is the main theme for the entire blockchain space. I think nothing changed in the space is always changing. Specifically to the application side, we can see the dynamics really improves, really goes for lots of progress in the past years. When we start with the first client, Givenchy in Paris, I have to use my old connection. I used to work in the Louis Vuitton, so I went to my previous boss and try to convince him to do the blockchain application on Vechain. And I spent 20 minutes, and he kind of gave up. He said, "Oh, Sonny, I don't understand what even a single word you say. Just tell me what to do." Luckily, he trusted me a lot, and we started to get one SKU with Givenchy, and now we cover 100% of leather goods. After 2-3 years. But nowadays, it's totally different. We can have lineup of possible leads from the different enterprises across the whole world is coming for either ask for experiences, ask for opportunities. So we're kind of facing the real new challenge is how to answer them all, how to bring the new tool, new platform, standard service, professional service to answer them all. So that becomes a new challenge. But the market is really dynamic right now, and especially last weekend when the China started to have a big announcement, like I said in the beginning, those larger enterprises are running at a startup speed, and no one sleep even after 11 p.m. of Saturday and asking for a proposal, right? So I think it's good. It's quite positive sign for every blockchain pioneers, players, And that's a new era for everybody to go to the next stage for mass adoptions.
From my experience, because I'm more from trading side, so I think personally, I got into blockchain trading like 2-3 years ago, and I used to work at investment bank at UBS. So for this whole 3 years, I do see a lot of actually my past colleague from hedge fund, from investment bank side, that they start joining the blockchain movement. They start looking to this asset, how does it trade, and get more interested. So I definitely see a lot of more interest in this space. And from a public chain standpoint, I think chains such as Vechain, it's gave a really good foundation for the newer projects. So I think the newer application project, they don't have to focus on the infrastructure anymore. I think they are more focusing on their application itself, and so they can spend more time on that instead of doing the base stuff. And then it's easier for them to actually to get listed on the market, start secondary trading, as well as doing their own projects. So I think definitely I see it's having something like a Vechain as a basis, it's really good for them.
Yeah, over the past 2 years, I think definitely I've seen so many different ideas for blockchain applications, use cases. More and more people and businesses are interested in it and saying, oh, what can that blockchain actually do for my business if everyone's talking about it? And I think over time, we've seen a few specific patterns emerge, like things that are kind of obvious if you've been in the industry for a long time, but like we know that users need an easier way to access their cryptocurrency than a 12-word phrase and secret key that you lose and then you lose everything forever. We need apps for people to use and play and understand that's going to make sense to you if you don't care about the technology. And I think that we've seen a lot of different ideas and approaches of the supportive infrastructure around this. A lot of different ways to build exchanges, a lot of different technologies for blockchain, delegated proof of stake, proof of work, and so on. And we kind of know how to build the infrastructure, but we're definitely in that business consensus phase, I think.
Actually, I joined the industry from 2013 and start from mining. So I think I built a kind of OG of crypto. I do the first mining farm in China with Jihan Wu, the founder of Bitmain. There's a lot of gossip now. And after that, BitOcean, our team, we built the first ATM in China, and we make an operation of ATM in Japan. In 2017, we got the first. I think we are the first batch of the license exchange in Japan. So we got one of 16 exchange license in Japan. So actually, during the past 6 years, so I do the mining. We design some chips for ASIC, and I invest in some tokens, some ICO, some private sales, and until I think 2017, I met. Actually, I know Sunny for more than 4 or 5 years, but in the early stage, most of the people inside of this industry, they are focused on the mining because that's the most money-making business, and the exchange also there. But now we see lots of applications now, and the people try to focus on compliance. I think 2 years before, no one cared about compliance. Yeah, they use a lot of ways to open exchange. They just trading maybe is the most part of blockchain. But now, last week, President Xi just say, "Oh, we need to focus on the application." So I think in the coming months or maybe coming weeks, more and more staff will focus on compliance and to help the people to use blockchain technology with no knowledge of blockchain. Just it's kind of like you use the internet, but you do not need to know the TCP/IP protocol. Yeah. So I think we will just focus on compliance, transparency, and to help the people to use blockchain technology.
Cool. So I think based on what I've just sharing, like Xiaoning must be very rich since you start mining Bitcoin since 2013 and you start sort of exchanging stuff and investing in a lot of ICOs. Just kidding, just kidding. So yeah, so I'm thinking that, so I believe you're all very experienced builders for this industry. I'm wondering what specific trends you are seeing in the coming year, like in 2020. Do you see a specific trend? And I think Sunny also mentioned a lot of times about mass adoption. So how are you, each of you, going to contribute to the mass adoption?
Well, I guess the presentation I did like a couple of minutes ago just answered that question perfectly. In summary, I would say we're gonna make sure the Vechain team goes through from technical consensus focus to be business consensus focus and help to build up more governance consensus with others, not only the enterprise, but the regulators, the players as a startup in the blockchain space. Secondly, we're going to focus on more to generate the standard tools and services to enable more builders, whatever they have a technology or they don't have, but they have business ideas, they have this or that, but they're missing this or that. And we try to facilitate the entire ecosystem to help everyone to be qualified builders, able to build the valuable transactions, and using the technology to help generate the new value in terms of mass adoptions.
I think from my standpoint, it's more from trend standpoint. I think there are going to be more asset. Maybe it's not just only financial asset, and then other assets going to be connected to the chains, Vechain and others. And then, we are actually a market maker, so we do work with a lot of projects. So I think one of our goals is to make the price relatively stable. And, I don't think it's good for, I think projects should mostly focus on the application instead of like pure secondary pricing. So that's one of our goals, is to make sure that there are enough market liquidity and the price is relatively stable, so everyone's actually working on the project itself instead of just staring at the screen all the time.
Yeah. One thing I definitely see improving in the near future is accessibility to end users. As we see more apps being developed, you can download on your iOS, you can download on your Android, and those interact directly with blockchain. And that means that people, they're one step away from being involved in this ecosystem that we have. They also have more opportunity to buy cryptocurrency, to get themselves involved in the ecosystem, to join the social media, find out what Telegram is if they've never been on it before. They get to download, basically experience all of the things that blockchain has to offer on web format, and know what it's truly about.
For exchange, I think it's easy for us. Yeah, we just to be more professional, more transparency, security, and to try to find some better project and some better asset we can provide. We can connect with the project and the potential investor. Yeah, and we also try to, I think, work close with the public blockchain ecosystem, yeah, to help them to find a place they can trust. They can trust to put their asset or their money into the exchange, and they can find a good place to trading. Yeah, so I think that's what we need to do in the next year. Yeah.
So I have a question for you, because I think you can keep it so far. Yeah. So right now, so OceanX is actually built up upon the Vechain Store ecosystem. So, but right now there are also a lot of exchanges that are building their own blockchain or public blockchain. So
Yeah, I think I think 2 years before I think just 1 year before I talked to Sunny and also talked to Jackson about how a blockchain ecosystem to work. Yeah, and I think OceanX, we are the first one to said we try to closely to work with the ecosystem. So I think also we start from the part of, we still are part of a Vechain ecosystem because I'm also the advisor of Vechain, and my work is to help the tokens to be listed on exchange from 2017. And a lot of projects, they face a problem. They are hard to be listed. Yeah. And I think we have tried to close with the public blockchain because the chain is not as easy as the users think. It's quite hard to make the ecosystem better and better. So I think Binance, Huobi, they also to list their public blockchain because for them it's more easy to list the asset. Maybe their major purpose is to list more and more assets to the blockchain. But I think the public blockchain is not just you list the asset. You need to find more and more, I think, valuable project come in, and then you can list it. So, in my opinion, we just focus on to make a compliance and a professional trading platform to work with different great public blockchain. That's fine. So, but maybe in the later we also plan to do some DEX, but we need to find a solution to do that. That's a different story, I think. But for now, we just focus on to make the exchange better and better because, exchange, I think it's the most difficult part inside of this industry. The security is quite important, and we need to take care of everything. So we work close with the Vechain, we work close with Starbucks, and also we work close with such as Playtable, the great product. Yeah. So that's my opinion. We need just to focus on one point. Yeah.
So my next question is for Sunny. So I think all of us also the mapping and the landscape of Vechain ecosystem. So I'm wondering, right now there are a lot of large corporates and some startups in between. How do they find synergies with one another? How do they support the whole ecosystem to make it grow bigger and larger?
Well, I think that's the best part about the Vechain. The Vechain is focused on like enterprise level platform, not only for big enterprises, but also for small business, but also for startups. And because we have so many business opportunities out there and also the partners out there, it's very easy to do a synergy. I can give you a couple examples. There is a startup, it's called Norway in a Box. They actually provide a salmon fish, very fresh salmon fish from Norway to China market. So when they try to go to the China market and they choose to bring, let's say they choose to build up the blockchain application on Vechain blockchain, right? And we are able to easily to synergy with DNVGL to based on the data they provide, the traceability they provide, and secure by blockchain to generate the business assurance. And also the PICC as an insurance company, they are very easy to join as well because we're in the same ecosystem. They will just wait a moment. You have a data, you have a third-party digital assurance services. I can create a micro insurance based on every box of salmon fish. So this kind of opportunity can really, like a multiple effects, multiple value, find a new value out of the synergy, whatever you are big enterprise and small business. And also, we were talking about the Playtable. I've been talking to John several times. It's a gaming station, but it could be an educational gaming station. And honestly, I don't know for the others, but at least for China market, it's a huge, massive market. Parents have spent a huge amount of money to try to encourage the kids to not only learn, but learn with fun, so they are able to motivate and to learn more, right? So that kind of business opportunities, geographically, business collaboratively, we can have much more. I think we are the most opportunities or synergy opportunities in the world in terms of blockchain ecosystem.
So speaking of the play table and the 8 Hours Foundation, I heard that the utility token is getting popular. There are a lot of inquiries about you guys. So wondering that right now, Vechain also have his own exchanges and also several other exchanges outside or within the ecosystem. So what value do you see from the exchanges when you are choosing one to start with or to work with?
Yeah, I think when it comes to finding the right exchange and the right fit for a platform, I think you have to think about the community and the kind of communities that's forged around Playtable, around 8 Hours, and the people that's been giving us inquiries like, oh, these apps, how do I play it? How do I get ERTs? How do I play the apps to use the ERTs? Where can I buy it? I think that finding the right culture fit is important. People who believe that play is healthy, that we should encourage as much interaction with each other as possible. And I think just expanding overall like this mission of mass adoption of blockchain, making sure that end users have just as much accessibility and opportunity to get involved with blockchain as anyone else.
So my last two questions for Zach. So the first one is that there was a recent announcement about a strategic partnership with OceanX from CyberX. Can you give us a little bit more context about that? And the second question I have for you is, as a sophisticated trader, I think you mentioned that earlier, what do you see the different trading strategies between the sophisticated traditional trader versus crypto newbies or people who only trade on cryptocurrencies? Yeah.
Maybe I'll answer the second question first. I think that some of the key differences is like for crypto world is 24/7 trading versus equity is not, right? And then it's definitely more volatile, less liquidity. There's no central regulators. So from that, all this aspect make it, as someone trading this market, you need to be more diligent. You have to look at your risk management system, and as well as because there's a low liquidity, so you have to be aware of market impact. I.e., if you buy or sell anything, it's gonna affect the price. I think that's part of the reason actually will lead into the second question that we, we're partnered up with in OceanX, where we develop a set of trading software, which is basically try to minimize that market impact. So that system, because we're coming from traditional world where there are actually a lot of professional tools out there, but when we come over here into the crypto world, we see there are actually less of those kind of really professional trading tools. So for instance, if you want to buy, sell Bitcoin or VT or what, hopefully mostly buy, then if you want to do a big chunk, you actually gonna move the market because you move the market price. So a lot of time from the traditional world, what we do is actually we make a orders that's like through like a trading terminal. Then you can put an order that's automatically at the mid price of the market or at maybe just below the offer price. And then as market move, the terminal will automatically cancel the previous order and then put a new order. So in that way, you can buy or sell whatever coin you want at just right at the market price without affecting market too much. Because otherwise, if you do a big order, then you're just gonna move the whole market, and then you end up buying or selling at worse price than you should be. So for instance, that's a thing we offer. Our terminal it's free and it's both PC and Mac native, and we do other stuff. For instance, we have portfolio management tools where you can see your portfolio across exchanges. And also we do monitor, because we, as a market maker, we do have a view on all the coins price. So we give a fair market value price for all the old coins. So you actually can see what's our view at fair value price of each coin through our terminals. And yeah, so we do various, like data service to our end user, hopefully, that they can make better decision on, whether they want to buy or sell. So that's, that's what we do.
Yeah, I think that's all for our sessions for today. And thank you all for being here, and hope you enjoy our session and learn a lot. So I think most of us are based in China. So consider recent like Satoshi booming. I think like of you are welcome to talk to each of us to learn more about China or Vechain and the exchange ecosystem. Thank you guys. And